Hey, welcome to episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Doing a beer that was my number one beer of 2023 or 2022, one of those years. So it's kind of like Bourbon County. They do a different version every year, or at least it's supposed to be. So this is the 25 edition of Boulevard Proper Pour Double Barrel Aged Imperial Stout Double Barrel Aged in red wine cask and whiskey barrels. It's pretty big, 12.7 ABV. It says best by July of 2028. So poured it into the tulip glass. I know it looks black on camera. It's actually a deep shade of like blood red, like almost kind of purple, like that deep, like a deeper purple than that label. But yeah, otherwise, super dark reddish brown. Not much of a foam on there. I got like maybe a pinky worth, and it's down to, a couple millimeters there. Surprised. Well, not totally. All right, well, definitely smells like your typical bourbon barrel aged imperial stout. I get a lot of fruit on this one. I think I'm picking up a lot of those red wine notes off the cabernet. Yeah, because I definitely get like a black grape, black currant. Yeah, slightly red fruit, like a tiny little bit of like a vinous or not vinegar, but like yeah, like a red wine character. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of wine, but if I'm gonna go for red wine, I'm gonna go big like a Cabernet, which tend to be super fruity and like just big and bold, and yeah, also has the vanilla, the wood. I will say, like, it doesn't smell like Bourbon County. Like, this is not chocolatey. It's not roasty. It's not coffee. This one it's more fruity. Well, there is like I would say there's like a dark chocolate on here, but also at the same time like a little vanilla. This one's a little bit more rustic smelling, fruity. It's like fruity and rustic, if that makes sense. It's not sweet smelling. Will it be sweet tasting? Let's find out. Cheers. I don't know if I'd call it sweet exactly. Remember, this is not like a pastry style. There's no chocolate or coffee or vanilla in here. This is just straight up imperial stout, double barrel aged. But I find that the red wine character is coming through more than the bourbon barrel character. Yeah, there's like this really slight, very subtle tannic character to it. That's probably what I was getting on the nose when I said, like a rustic character. It's like you're actually tasting like the wood itself and not so much like the vanillin character. This really, I would not call this vanilla, oddly enough. Vanilla tends to be huge on Bourbon County and CB, or KBS, well, CBS too. This one it's more like that rustic, tannic, the woody quality, but no vanilla. Yeah, it's fruity up front. I kind of get like it's almost like a chocolate syrup and black licorice aftertaste, like a black licorice concentrate, or I mean, if you just ate actual or like black jelly bean. It's not so much the flavor of those things; it's more like the aftertaste of those things. Bitterness on here is fairly low. Like, this is not super. I forget how this tasted last time I reviewed it. But it's not like I'm not getting coffee roastiness on here, and I'm not getting like piney or citrusy hops. I'm just getting like a kind of general bitterness. Yeah, I would say this finishes fairly dry, which is actually kind of odd. Usually, big barrel aged imperial stouts, you tend to just get like a sweet, like super rich malty finish, and if there's any pastry flavorings in there, you tend to get those too. This one is, because it's so fruity, I'm getting like definitely like a little bit tannic, like just a little bit. It's almost like it almost kind of incepts a tartness into your head, even though it's not sour at all. It could just be like slight. There could be like a little bit of lactic acid in here from the barrels, But like, I'm not saying this is sour or anything like that. One thing I noticed on the first sip, and I noticed like now that I'm halfway through, I went into this. I mean, it's 12.7. I went into this thinking like huge, thick, syrupy beer. It's actually not. Pretty big bodied, medium full to full, carbonation moderately low to low. I'd probably put it about moderately low. Pretty long, kind of fruity / tannic / alcoholic aftertaste. It is like a little warming. I'm drinking this pretty much at fridge temp. I let it sit out for like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. I will say like the aftertaste, actually it is a little cloying in the aftertaste. I think it's just the alcohol and like the mix of like everything going on here. I will say like this isn't blowing my mind the way it did a few years ago. So instead of it being like, outstanding or world class, I would say it's just very good. So I'm going to give a solid 8, maybe 8.5 for the 2025 proper pour. I reviewed this. I think this is the third time I'm reviewing it, and the last 2 times I reviewed it, I gave it a 10, and it just seems a little off or something this year. Not that it's a bad beer, but I'm going to still definitely recommend it, especially considering the price point. What take a bottle of Bourbon County, divide that price by a quarter, and that's probably what you pay for this. All right, so I'm super rambling as always in you watch Halloween. You already know you're awesome. I'll see you guys for his and her Gen X podcast. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it. Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Review. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.